another podcast from Intrepid English. My name is Lida and I'm an English teacher and the Director of Studies here at Intrepid English. And today I'm going to tell you about the prepositions in, on and at. But more specifically, I want to focus on their uses with terms related to technology and the internet. You've probably studied the prepositions in, on, and at many times on your English learning journey. They can be tricky for a variety of reasons. For example, many languages have equivalent prepositions, but they rarely work in the same way as in English. When it comes to terms related to the internet and technology, we still use on, at, and in. But I would say some uses are even more confusing than usual. So in this podcast, we'll look at which prepositions to use, and I'll also try to explain why. First, let's take a quick look at how to use these prepositions in regular situations. So in general, we use in for more general areas and long time periods. So this means we use in for continents, like in Africa, countries in the UK, cities in Bangkok, neighborhoods in Brooklyn, and enclosed spaces in my room. When it comes to time, we use in for centuries in the 1900s, decades in the 1960s, years in 2020, seasons in the summer, months in May, and parts of day in the morning. On is used for slightly more specific places and for days. So, for example, on we use for surfaces on the table, means of public transport, so on a bus or on a ferry, streets, squares, and avenues, on King Street, for example. And with time, it's used for days on Monday, dates on the 3rd of May, one-day holidays on Christmas Day, and specific days. For example, on my birthday. At is used for specific places and specific times of day. So you see how we're going from the most general uses with in to kind of the middle ground with on, and at is used for specific places and specific times of day. So at we use for specific locations, like at the library, or addresses, at 15 Newton Road, for example. With time, we use it for specific times of day, at 8 a.m., or holidays without day in the name, at Easter, or at Christmas. Now, of course, there are some exceptions. For example, we can use both in and on with the word car. So it's important to remember the difference. When something is inside, we use in. When something's on the surface of the car, especially on the roof, we use on. So we're sitting in the car, but the boxes are attached on the car, or I left my wallet on the car. I left it on the roof. Parts of day are normally preceded by in. We get up in the morning and eat dinner in the evening. Night does not follow this rule. We say, I don't like working at night. When we use every, this, last, and next before an expression of time, we don't use any prepositions. So I go swimming every Monday. I went camping last June. I'll finish the book this evening. And will you come next weekend? Now, finally, let's look at on, in, and at with technology. First, we have in, which we use with types of content such as in a blog post, in an article, in a video game, in a video, in a social media post, in an advert, in a meme, and in virtual reality. We also use it with content formats, so in a digital form or in PDF. We use in for specific programs and apps, so in Word, in Google Documents, in Photoshop. We also use in with the cloud, so we say you work in the cloud, or you store something in the cloud. With online meetings, we use in because we use in with regular meetings. So I am in a meeting and I am also in a Skype meeting or in a Zoom meeting. Now, on is used for websites, blogs, and search engines. So we say we saw something on YouTube, or we read it on BBC News. You learned it on the Intrepid English blog, or you found it on Google. We also use on for channels, and this can mean radio and TV channels, or even, for example, YouTube channels, or even other social media channels. So you saw it on the Intrepid English channel, or you saw it on Channel 4. We use on for devices. So you've read it on a Kindle, you're working on a laptop, you're watching it on TV or on the screen, you're on webcam, or you're on camera. On is also used for drives and network. You store something on the C drive or on a hard drive. You are working on the network, or you're on Wi-Fi, or on the server, or something can be on the server. And we also use on for online calls. So, as I mentioned before, we say I am in a Skype meeting, but I am on a Skype call because we say I am on a call. So depending on what follows the words Skype or Zoom, etc., or Teams, for example, we use in or on depending. So in a meeting, but on a call. Now, at is not used that much. The main use is with email addresses. So when we give an email address, first is our username, then we say at, that's the symbol, and then it is the website or the domain. And finally, we've got a few cases where we don't use any prepositions at all. And that is with the words online. I bought it online. And also remotely and remote. So I work remotely, but my job is 100% remote. Finally, let's look at a few specific cases where we might use more than one preposition, depending on what we want to say. We can say both on and at a computer. If I say I'm working on a computer, I am putting stress on the device that I am using to work. But if I say I am at a computer, then I am stressing where I'm working, not what device I am working on. We can say both. When we buy something on a website, we use on. But if we bought it in a physical shop, we use in. So I can say I bought it on Amazon, but I bought it in Boots. Now the next one is one of the most annoying uses of prepositions I can think of, because we use all three: on the market, in the market, and at the market. When I say the phone is now on the market, it means that the phone can be bought in the shops. When we say someone is in the market for a new car, it means they're looking for a new car. They want to buy a new one, so they're in the market for it. And finally, when we say that we bought something at the market, we're actually talking about the physical market with stalls. So all three uses are possible, but each of them very different from the other. And finally, we might be working in a specific program, but on something. So I can say I am working in Krita, meaning I am using the program Krita to do my job. Or I can say I'm working on the video series. And that means that the video series is my current project. This content was written and recorded by Lida. You can find out more about me in my Intrepid English teacher profile. If you have any questions or you would like to request a topic for a future podcast, you can post it in any of our social media pages, or you can use the little green chat box in the bottom right corner of our website. You can also book a free trial lesson and talk about your learning goals with an experienced English teacher. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have a great day.